So today, I've got something really special to share. It is the Framework laptop. Now, if you haven't seen this before, this is a completely modular system that's user upgradable. And from what I've already seen, it is so simple you could pretty much just go to the website, read the documentation, and have a child do it for you. It's amazing. So let's check this out. So we've got the laptop, and here is a package inside. Open this up. And this is the components that were ordered with the system. So here we have a WD Black SN850, which is a Gen 4 NVMe SSD. And this thing is blazing fast. I have one in my 5950X desktop system and love it. And here we have little modules. See another module. You've got your Wi-Fi card. And this looks like it is a Intel AX210 Wi-Fi 6. And 16 gigs of crucial DDR4 3200 RAM. Now the next thing in here is the power adapter. Now this is USB-C. We'll just open this up. You've got the cord to the wall and a USB-C to USB-C cable. And you can see one end on the cable is straight and the other one has a 90-degree elbow on it. And here is the charger itself. So now we'll go ahead and unravel this, get this plugged in. I'm going to take the straight end and plug it right into the charger. And I'm going to set this aside until we're done actually assembling this laptop. Now for the modules. We've got a USB-C expansion card, HDMI, another USB-C, and a USB-A. Now the way that this works, because these slide in, you can just pop them out. It's like hot swappable, but I'll show you that after we get it assembled. So now let's open up the box. And this just comes right out. And it also comes with tools as well, or rather a tool. So this has a spludger on one side, and then you have the Torx screw as well as a Phillips. And this is all that you need to be able to work on this laptop. Now here we have a sticker or decal, and remember that fixing this to your computer gives you 5 extra virtual horsepower to make your system faster. And now you know. Here is the Framework, I guess, quick start guide here. Not really a whole lot, but it does talk about that the microphone and webcam actually have physical privacy switches, so you can actually shut them off. So it's not just like a cover or something that will like muffle the sound or cover the webcam. It is actually disconnecting it. So let's open this up. Now watch how simple this is to open up here. Now, these Torx screws, see, they don't actually come all the way out, so you can't lose them. That is brilliant. Some laptops do that already with the screws on the bottom of the chassis, but not all of them do that. So now I'm flipping this over and opening it up, and this should be magnetic. There we go. And you can see the ribbon cable actually gives you plenty of slack. And you just pull that right up. There's the keyboard. So I'm going to place this off to the side. Now another cool thing here, check out this bezel. Now this bezel is also magnetic. See, it just comes right off. That is slick. I wish all manufacturers did that. So I'm going to remove the battery, make sure that it's fully disconnected before installing anything. right here. There we go. Lifts up and out. So now I'm opening up the SSD and we will install this real quick. Now for the NVMe drive, the screw is already here. You just go ahead and unscrew it. And look at that, it's magnetic. Absolutely brilliant. So now we place this right in here. Gently press it down and put the screw in. And it's installed. Now here for the memory, you can see it says that this is channel 1 and up to 32 gigs for each channel. And this is channel 0, and again up to 32 gigs. So that being said, in theory you could put 64 gigs of RAM in this machine if you wanted to. So now we have the RAM, and it only fits one way. Now because there's only a single chip going in, I'm going to put it in channel 0. I'm also going to pull this out of the way. And there we go. Now that is installed. Next is the Wi-Fi card. Now I was forewarned that it's a little bit tight to be able to get this installed here. So go ahead and remove this screw. And again, look at that. It's magnetic. That's awesome. We'll place that off here to the side. Okay, so for the wireless card, what I'm going to do is take this out first and pre-attach the antennas to it and then mount it. Now these things are super, super tiny. Not sure if you can see that. Try turning up the light a little bit. So they're very tiny, and it is important as to which one goes on which, and it is actually color-coded right here on the Wi-Fi card, so you can see the white antenna connects to this port here, and then the black antenna connects on this one here. So I'm going to just lay this flat and then place it right on top and smash it in with a hammer. Just kidding. I'm going to use my finger here and just have it flat on there. I'll kind of rotate it back and forth. There we go. Now I've got one. Now let's get the second one. Probably would have been easier if I did this one first. Oh well. So I'm putting this together. You might want to do the black one first. Even if you do this quite often, it is still something you got to be patient with. So now they're both on. Now let's slide this in here. This cable management is very tight. Let's lift up this DEM. Let's just take this out for a sec. And it looks like that it's going to run under here a little bit, at least initially. Ah! That sucks. Well, that took probably an extra 20 minutes I did not expect to spend on it, but I do have it installed now. It is just a super tight fit, and then when you put that protective shield on it, right here, the black one likes to just pop right off. So you can see how I have it for the cable management underneath here. It goes underneath the actual bracket, back and around, and then through these cable guides. So next I'm going to put the battery back in. It just slides right back in here. And a couple of screws. Now this is interesting here. This is a ML1220, so it's a little 3-volt battery. Let me zoom in for you. And that battery is a BIOS battery. Typically it's going to be a CR 2023 or 2025, which is like your regular watch battery, but this is a ML1220. Now the keyboard, because it's magnetic, all we got to do is take the ribbon and line it right up. There you go, that just plugs right back to the board. Now here, where the palm rest is at, you want to line that back up here at the bottom. It should just clip, but it's not. All right, let me see here. But the battery's misaligned. There we go, yep. So the battery was slightly misaligned here. These teeth go underneath. And now we screw in the battery. Now we plug it back in. Now take the keyboard again. Line this right up. And it just clips right in. Now, it just clips right in. See that? So now we will flip it over and screw back in the screws. And there we go. Now remember earlier, these modules. So let's open these up. Here is a HDMI. I'm going to stick that on the right side because that's where I want it. There we go. And I will do USB-A on that side as well. And it also shows you right here, I'm not sure if you can read it, but it tells you what the port is if you are not familiar with what ports look like. Super user-friendly. The connection on these modules is all USB-C. So the HDMI, everything that you just plug in, it's USB-C. Although technically it runs at Thunderbolt speeds, but it is not quote-unquote certified as Thunderbolt. But from what I've been told is that it does support 40 gigabits. So that means a 10 gigabit Thunderbolt Ethernet adapter, in theory, would work in this machine. Now here you got these little buttons, so you can't just pull this out, you have to hold down the button before you can pull it out. And you can actually see the button move when it goes in. So watch the button. There we go. So what's next? Let's load up Windows 11 and test it out. So the first time I turned it on, it did take quite some time. Now let's see if it will boot the USB thumb drive here. So next, install, and I'm going to put in the product key later, Windows 11 Pro. Next, I'll do custom install, and drive 0 is the NVMe drive that we put in there earlier. So I'm going to just make sure it's highlighted and hit next. And now we just hurry up and wait, and through the magic of video editing, it will be done real fast. So now we are going to just click on yes, and it's a US keyboard, and we don't need another keyboard layout. So we'll skip that. Now initially I'm going to just say I don't have internet and continue with limited setup. And that's so that I can bypass having to log in using any Microsoft Live accounts. All right, so I'm going to turn off all of the telemetry and the tracking and ads and accept. It is installed. Now here is the Framework laptop driver bundle. So I'm going to just copy that. So now that is copied over, I'm going to run the installer. Now it's nice how Framework goes ahead and automates the installation of everything here. Now while this is loading, I will pull up the task manager, go to more details and performance. You can see that this is the 11th Gen i5 1135G7. And if we right click on it, do change graph to logical processors, we can see that it has 8 total threads. And right down here, logical processors of 8 and 4 cores. Got the 16 gigs of RAM and the NVMe storage here. All right, Tempo HDA detected and installing Intel Thunderbolt drivers. Now again, from last I heard, this was not actually Thunderbolt certified, but we will see how it performs in a little bit. All right, let's reboot this guy. There we go, it's all booted up. And you can see in the device manager that everything has drivers installed for it, so there's no missing drivers. Nice. Now the keyboard is backlit, and to turn it on, you hold down the function key and press the spacebar key. All right, so this laptop does some unique things. Any of these ports, like your USB-C, USB-A, and HDMI, so it's all removable. And it's modular, so you just take it, slide it back in. So it comes with a spludger and star bit, and also a Phillips head on the other side. Now the bezel is magnetic. Look at that. Can your laptop do that?
Never really tried.
So check this out. I hooked up the Sabrent 10 gigabit over RJ45 Thunderbolt adapter over to the Framework laptop, and I'm going to run iPerf 3 and see what kind of performance we get on it. What the heck? Oh, I got it plugged into the wrong switch. Hold up. All right, now let's give it a try. Cool. So since it's Windows, that is about as good as you're gonna get, or pretty close to it for 10 gig. You do have to set the window to 1 meg. Otherwise, I'll show you what it looks like without that. Because Windows is reserving about 20% for other items to be able to have quality of service running on your connection. So as you can see, that is about as good as you're going to get on Windows without specifying a 1 meg window. But we'll run it again. And there you go. So the Framework laptop is capable of running 10 gig using a Thunderbolt 10 gig Ethernet adapter by Sabrent, which is the TH-TAC S3EA. So if we look at the Framework laptop and compare it to, I have a Microsoft Surface laptop here, and they're very similar in size. And I'll show you. Put this right on top to kind of give you perspective as to the size of it. Now next is my 14-inch M1 Max, and I'll go ahead and place this on top of it. And as you can see, it is just slightly smaller than the 14-inch MacBook Pro when you're looking at the width, but for the height, it is slightly taller. Not sure if you can see that here. And then of course, both the Surface and the MacBook, you can't pull out and swap any of the ports. So that's just pretty cool. Oh, one other thing I want to go over, and this is really cool, and that is when we open this up, you can see here, let me zoom in. So here at the very top, there's physical buttons that actually go ahead and turn on and off the webcam and the speaker. So it's physical security. You're not relying on software that could actually be lying to you. And if you doubt what I'm saying, then check this out. Because it's magnetic, it pulls down, you can actually see the dip switches that enable and disable the webcam and the microphone. Gotta love that. I wish all modern laptops were magnetic design like this. It's just brilliant. So tell me your thoughts on the Framework laptop. Is this something that you're planning on buying? Or are you waiting for the next generation to come out? Personally, for me, I think that once the 12th gen Intel chips come out in this form factor, or even some Ryzen variants, then it might be something that I might look into for myself. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.